Right corner, Juan Ramirez.
And here are your light flyweights. 106 on the left, Juan Ramirez, 21 years old, and his opponent from the USA, Albert Guardado, 21-year-old native of Topeka, Kansas. They'll fight 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, and you look at the tail of the tape, both at 106, height about the same, one of the few fights in which both boxers are about the same height. The Cubans have a tremendous height advantage in this competition. Long arms on these youngsters.
The reach is going to show, but so will the entire ringmanship.
So we're set to go. The third man in the ring is Omar Raviri. Both boxers in the blue trunks. Of course, the Cubans have the red vest and the Americans the blue vest, and that's about the only way, other than the color of the headgear, we're going to be able to tell some of these boxers apart.
Sam, I have this pick so far as a very evenly matched bout in this competition, a good light flyweight matchup, if you will. Ramirez comes from Camagüey, Cuba, located down in the heart of the country. So he's worked his way up from the center of this country onto the national team.
We might also add, too, that Ramirez is one of the most inexperienced of the Cuban boxers, having been part of the national team for just 1 year. They've got some of their kids who have been around for 8, 9, and 10 years on this team.
Well, that's pretty much why I call this a good even match going into it, because Guardado, on the other hand, is one of our experienced boxers. He's a leader. He's got significant experience as a police athletic league and USA champion for 1993 and 1994. So I think we've got a good opener for tonight's show.
Ramirez working upstairs and downstairs, and of course the purpose of amateur boxing is to land knuckle surface blows using the white part of the boxing gloves to land them in the hitting areas. And Ramirez is very active here in the first round, and Guardado reduced a little bit to counterpunching, Van.
A little bit, but both boxers are still very strong on their feet right now, if you will, Sam. Each looking for the opening in the other boxing. Right now it looks like Ramirez is getting off a little bit quicker, though, than Guardado.
Little over a minute left here in round number 1, scheduled for 3 rounds.
You see Ramirez continually looking for the opening, and even though he's on the retreat, or so it seems, he's really in control, knows where he is in the ring very much of the time.
There's a definite strategy in this boxing, certainly by the USA boxing team. They have seen enough of the Cubans to know that they all fight with basically the same style, and they're trying to break the rhythm. You'll hear Van and I refer to that throughout the course of this competition.
We saw just a short while ago a good left jab by Guardado. If he can land that jab and score, he can actually go up on Ramirez.
Under 30 seconds to go in the round. Pretty good first round. Got this crowd up and aroused already.
Nice combination by Ramirez. Guardado counters well.
15 seconds left in the round. Boy, they both exchanged good rights. We've come to the end of a very good first round. 106 is the weight.
Ramirez comes out, moves inside, which is the Cuban style, and gets involved in a flurry of punches, some of which look like they may have landed and some of which didn't.
Okay, go behind the stiff jab, okay?
Looking at it from another angle, it's kind of a hunt and search for Ramirez, but at the same time, Guardado remains active on his side of the ring, so that's up to the official to determine who got the best of this flurry.
Okay. All right, this is the second round.
And here we go with round number 2. Again, it's Juan Ramirez in the red sweater vest and Albert Guardado in the blue sweater vest. Guardado representing Team USA. That's 7 months ago had such a difficult time with the Russians, losing here 10-2, and they're both very active.
Guardado right now, Sam, is ranked as the #1 106-pounder in the United States, so he's bringing a lot of U.S. experience into this bout right here.
Al Mitchell is the coach who is occupying the corner for the USA, and his advice to Guardado at the end of round 1 was you got to get off faster. He noticed immediately what you probably noticed at home, and that it was Ramirez getting off his punches a little bit quicker than Guardado.
And again, I think we're going to see that very much tonight, is the quickness of the Cuban boxers to get off first, as they say in the sport. Both boxers still moving very, very well. I like to see the 106-pounders because they're very fleet in the ring as compared to the heavyweights.
These are the light flyweights. Under 2 minutes to go in the second round. Again, 3 rounds for each bout. 3 minutes each round. 12 bouts on the evening. That is the entire card. USA having never beaten Cuba, and Ramirez piling up the points now, despite in 5 and 6 punch combinations.
Guardado seemed to cover quite a bit there, did not get the punches off. On the other hand, Ramirez seemed to land quite a few in that exchange.
Very vocal crowd here at Foxwoods Resort Casino. We're in Ledyard, Connecticut. 2 looping overhand by Ramirez. About a minute to go in the round.
Ramirez picks and chooses the spots at which he wants to get active, and when he doesn't find those spots, he circles right, such as you see right now, and then will come back to his left, all of which keeps Guardado just a little bit off base. Circles left, finds a body punch.
Then came up high with a good right hook.
Good classic Cuban-style boxing.
Ramirez has been boxing since 1988, and this year was the bronze medalist in the Cuban National Games. They have tremendous depth on their teams, Van, as you know.
That depth comes from the provincial boxing programs, if you will. 14 provinces in the country of Cuba, boxers coming up from each of them to be on the national team.
Good combination again by Ramirez. Under 30 to go in the round. Ramirez having it pretty much his own way here in the second round. He has worn Guardado down a bit. And we're using a brand new electronic scoring system in all of these bouts. And as the night progresses, we'll have the opportunity to try to explain it to you a little further. Under 10 seconds to go in round number 2. Juan Ramirez of Cuba, Albert Guardado of Team USA. We'll be back. Bell starting the third and final round. 106 is the weight classification. Juan Ramirez, you're looking at the young man in the red headgear and the red sweater vest, Albert Guardado, fighting for Team USA.
You know, we talked in the open, Sam, about this being a barometer for the USA team. Well, this is really a barometer right now for Albert Guardado. And he's coming out in this third round like he realizes it's on the line, which I personally believe it is. Solid right hand. Stunned him. Guardado stunned Ramirez.
Excellent right hand.
Almost deserved an 8 count.
Now the referee is... Wow. Good right hand by Ramirez as Guardado went in to follow up. I don't know what referee Rivera was doing. He is a Cuban referee, of course.
Once again, amateur boxing. That punch by Guardado does not count any more than any other kind of scoring punch that lands on the opponent. 1 point.
But it rocked him.
But it shocked him.
Had him in trouble.
His knees buckled on that one. That was the best punch of the night in this bout. The question is, has there been enough of them by Guardado?
Well, it was a good point to immediately indicate that is no more than one scoring punch. Of course, had it knocked him down and out, or the referee stopped the contest, it would have been a different story. This is an excellent bout. Guardado has only fought once before against a Cuban and lost. That was last year.
Ramirez just got called for a low blow. That was a caution.
Coming up on a minute and a half to go in the third and final round in what thus far has been Guardado's round. Can he win it big enough?
In the computerized scoring system, if he amasses enough blows here in round number 3, he will win this bout no matter what happened in the first 2 rounds.
Presumably, Guardado trailed going into the third round, but he's come back with a flurry to make this anybody's bout. Couple of 21-year-olds, Juan Ramirez of Cuba, Albert Guardado. What a way to get started. USA having never defeated Cuba head-to-head competition. They'd love to get off and running with a victory here.
Big year for Albert Guardado, and also a big bout on his hands right now.
this crowd.
They're behind him 100%, Sam. Regardless of the score, Guardado has turned in a stalwart performance here in round 3.
Coming up on the 32nd mark left in the bout. These kids will hear a tremendous cheer when it's all over.
And this is where conditioning comes in, right here. Whoever is most conditioned could finish up with the most blows at this point.
20 to go.
Nice shot by Guardado. Glanced off the head of Ramirez. Nailed him with an uppercut.
We'll let the crowd take you home. You'll hear a tremendous outburst. Under 10 to go in the bout.
A lot of action here in the round on the part of both boxers. Guardado moving out, trying to find a home on Ramirez. Backs out, takes a quick look, and then finds a home for that right hand. And the knees of Ramirez buckled. Almost could have drawn an 8 count on that.
And now for the official decision, let's go to the ring announcer, Ted Sarandis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on a decision in the blue corner,
Unbelievable. What a great victory, and well-deserved for Albert Guardado. The biggest victory of that young Topeka, Kansas, great young career.
Great start, Sam. We couldn't have asked to start in a better way than this fine stalwart performance by Albert Guardado.
We'll return to the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut right after this.
from Cuba, Enrique.
And here are the bantamweights at 119 pounds on your left, Enrique.
Cuba, Enrique.
And here are the bantamweights at 119 pounds on your left, Enrique Carrion, 5'7", 26 years old. We'll show you the tail of tape in a moment. Carlos Navarro is his worthy opponent, and quite a discrepancy in the age. Carrion, 26. Navarro, just 18 years old. So Carrion with the greater of the experience. Again, about the same height. Carrion from Santiago in Cuba, and Navarro, a product of South Central Los Angeles. 119 pounds. Third man in the ring is Alota Morrison. Kansas City, Missouri. He is where he calls home, and we're set to go round number 1.
Sam, to show you the difference in experience in this, Carrion began boxing on the Cuban national team when Navarro was 8 years old.
Well, Carrion's got a lot of style, and you'll see that early on. Real good boxer, hard puncher, as most of the Cubans are, with that great reach. And it's Navarro's job, fighting as a southpaw here, to just break the rhythm of Carrion, just like Guardado did earlier against Ramirez. And you got to get off first against these guys, Van.
You can't stand back and let them shoot first at you. If you do, you're going to be on the defense the entire night, and you're not going to be aggressive. The name of the game is focus on breaking their rhythm and close up the space between the two boxers. Take it to them and don't let them take it to you.
The coach in the U.S. corner for this bout is Jesse Ravello, and we'll talk a lot about him as we go along with Ravello and Al Mitchell. Certainly 2 of the 4 or 5 leading candidates to coach the U.S. Olympic team in '96.
They're doing an excellent job working with the United States boxers, not just this team, but the entire cream of the crop of the USA team throughout the states and the various events that they have. We might add, too, that not just the national coaches that are working this event, but in this case, Carlos Navarro Sr., the father of Carlos Navarro, the boxer, has been very instrumental in bringing him to this point. Good aggressive move right there by Navarro.
And like most of the kids in this competition, of course, their goal is to reach the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, particularly meaningful for the American kids.
So far, I like what I see by Navarro. I like it because he's moving forward, and he is becoming the aggressor. He's got to make the most of the opportunity, however, when he gets there. But I like his direction thus far.
Again, it's Enrique Enrique Carrion with the red headgear and the red vest. Carlos Navarro of Team USA in the blue.
Carrion now was a 1989 world champion. He won the silver in the world championships in 1991, and he was runner-up in the Goodwill Games this summer. So, wealth of experience once again.
Boy, all the way down the list, too, man. Every one of them just has this incredible history already at the tender age of 21 to 25, you know?
Yeah, it's hard not to be impressed, really, when you read their bios.
30 seconds to go in round number 1. All of these are 3-rounders. They last 3 minutes each. And the object is to score some points by landing punches in the white area of the boxing glove. They call them knuckle surface blows.
And that's the front part of the torso, from the belt up to the top of the head.
Nearing the end of round 1. Pretty even round. Carrion might have the slight edge.
All he's doing is punching and moving. He's not going with combinations. He's punching and moving, okay? And he's leaning back, okay? You got to feel the contact.
Navarro receiving its instructions right now from Coach Jesse Ravello. A very unique story in its own right, Sam. Let's give a listen.
Anticipate his shots, okay? Anticipate the shot. Got to keep those hands up, okay? Got to keep the hands up, okay? So you can make your punches a little shorter, huh?
Second round, Carlos. What? Second round is still.
Hey, work your combinations on the inside. Don't just work one hand with your power. Work the speed, just like we work out there. Work with speed with power. Work a combination of speed and power.
Second round.
Tell you he ain't got nothing.
Jesse Ravello was born actually in Havana, Cuba, and it's been his dream to come back and coach against the Cuban team tonight.
You got to kind of right.
He defected some 27 years ago.
Came to the United States and has carved out a very fine career in the United States Army and is in fact a candidate for the 96 Olympic Games, U.S. Olympic boxing coach.
This is round 2. We should tell you that the U.S. coaching staff earlier today boldly predicted that their kids would win a minimum. They would be disappointed, they said, if they didn't win 6 of the bouts, which is incredible in light of the fact the USA has never beaten Cuba and only once has won as many as 6 bouts to tie.
Pretty nice shot by Navarro just now, and they got off to a good start with a 1-0 in the 106-pound category, and they could make this 2-0 at this point. This Cuban team is a very, very strong team, but as Coach Ravello has so aptly told us, they are beatable, and we've already seen a glimpse of that.
Ooh. Carrion looks like he boxes in 3-punch combinations and gets out. Likes to stick and move
pretty much. And he stuck that time with a good right hand on the head of Carlos Navarro.
Open glove.
That was an open-faced contact.
Navarro indicated earlier today that he will box Carrion any way that he has to. He considers himself a strong boxer, does Carlos Navarro of USA, and smart, and he thought he could adapt very quickly to whatever Carrion had in store for him. However, having said that, Navarro is 0-2, having lost 2 close bouts to a Cuban by the name of Font.
Valdemar Font. So he lost in the Cuban duel in '93 and then again in the Goodwill Games this year, but both times it was close. A 3-2 decision and a 14-18 score.
Come on, Carlos.
Right now, Carrion, I have to tip my hat to Carrion because he's doing something that Navarro does not want him to do. He's keeping the space between the 2 boxers, and he's utilizing that open space. Navarro's having a difficult time in closing down that space.
Come on, Carlos.
Once again, open-faced portion of the glove. Caution for that. No points deducted. However, if that common foul happens 3 times, they could deduct, give him a warning, and deduct the points accordingly.
We talked about the 8-year age difference between Carrion and Navarro, Carrion being 26, Navarro 18, and it's reflected in their experience. Carrion's been boxing since 1980, Navarro only since 87.
That was an excellent example by Enrique Carrion against Navarro. Got him going back, and he stuck him with a right. Shoot and move, shoot and move. That seems to be Carrion's style at this point.
He's had a very, very, very strong second round, has Enrique Carrion. Under 10 seconds to go in the round.
And there you see that roundhouse punch, if you will, by Carrion. Open face portion of the glove. That does not count as a scoring blow. It's the knuckle portion, the white-tipped portion of the glove that must land in the scoring area to be counted.
There's the bell, bringing them together for the third and final round of this three-rounder. Again, identifying the boxers, Enrique Carrion with the red vest, red headgear of Team Cuba. Carlos Navarro in the blue from Team USA. Carrion in control of the first two rounds. This is an electronic scoring system. No way at the moment of knowing who has a lead, whether it's a close lead or an insurmountable lead. In an earlier bout, Juan Ramirez appeared to have an insurmountable lead over Albert Guardado. Guardado came back to have a huge third and final round and steal the bout from the Cuban. Navarro would love to do the same thing right here.
And once again, that is possible. Navarro's going to have to work hard, though, to stay on top of Carrion at this point.
For 30 years now, the Cuban boxing program has been run by a man named Alcide Segarra, nicknamed the Professor, and so he has been the mentor for all of these great Cubans, dating way back before Teofilo Stevenson and all the great Cuban Olympic medalists, 24 Olympic gold medalists in his illustrious career, and we'll develop more about Segarra and get some shots of him in the corner as the night goes on.
He is truly a legend. He is the man that has literally developed this program within the country of Cuba. Very respected around the world, as you say.
Navarro continuing to be the aggressor, but Carrion has been so artistic at getting in and getting out.
This has been very much of a counter game for Carrion at this particular juncture, Sam.
Under a minute and a half to go in the third and final round.
Navarro's starting to miss with some of his punches, and he's running out of time. He cannot miss with the punches. He's got to move in and get serious right now. Both boxers getting off a few blows in that encounter.
Hello to Morrison, the referee from the USA. There are 2 Cuban referees and 2 from the United States, and they will alternate on every one of these 12 bouts. 1 minute to go in the bout.
Might add, Sam, that Navarro was ranked #1 at the 112-pound category. He's moved up to 119 pounds. This is his first bout at 119 pounds. Carrion seemingly as fresh now as when he began this bout.
What a deal Navarro has. He goes to school 1 day a week, gets all of his homework for an entire week, and then doesn't have to go back again until the next week. But it's because he's away so much and working so hard in his boxing career. This one's about over, and it would appear that the Cubans have a victory, but we have seen surprising voting in the past. 15 to go, under 10, and this one will be history. Enrique Carrion of Cuba, Carlos Navarro of Team USA.
Now, the game plan for so many of the Cubans, as we've discussed earlier, is to be active. Choose your punches. It's a stick-and-move attack by Enrique Carrion. Sticks him, moves out again. Leaves Navarro on the defense.
And once again, for the official decision, let's go to our ring announcer, Ted Sarandis. Teddy?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner in the red corner, Enrique Carrion of Cuba. On a decision.
That's going to be the highlight.
Presenting the awards for the 119-pound bout.
And so Enrique Carrion of Cuba has won this bout over his worthy opponent, Carlos Navarro, but it should come as no great surprise, Van, in light of the fact that Carrion has had so much more experience, certainly at the international level and in boxing in general.
A good lesson for the young 18-year-old Carlos Navarro. I think we're going to see him down the road, Sam. Developed by both USA Boxing and the United States Olympic Committee is in use tonight. In effect, each of the judges has a red button and a blue button, and when they see a scoring blow, they press the button which is appropriate for the boxer that scored the blow. Now, if 3 of the 5 judges press a button within 1 second of each other, that goes into the computer as a registered scoring blow. It's tabulated, and the sum total comes up, and the boxer who's literally scored the most scoring blows in this bout wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 5th.
Sam Nofer and Van Stokes back at the Foxwood Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut. Team USA versus Team Cuba in this wonderful competition that dates back to 1977. And we're set for the featherweights. On your left, Mario Cesar fighting for Cuba, and his opponent, 19-year-old Frankie Carmona for Team USA. These are 125-pounders. Carmona ranked #1 in the USA, while Cesar began his boxing in 1987. You can see the difference in their age. Cesar is 4 years older, has a 3-inch height advantage, and Carmona, still a high school senior in Los Angeles, California, being brought together here for round #1 by our referee. And we're back now to Omar Rivera, the Cuban referee, handling this bout. This is bout number 5 on the night. Checking with all the judges to see that they're in place for this electronic scoring system. Everybody ready to go, with the Cubans now starting to assert their dominance, leading 3 bouts to 1. Here we go.
This is going to be an interesting bout for Frank Carmona as he continues to grow accustomed to the international arena. At times it can be a bit confusing to these boxers who have boxed so much in the United States to walk in and face not only international boxers, but international boxers of such a caliber as this.
Carmona really needs to be watched early in the bout because he's a young man of very fragile confidence. He, in fact, lost 15 of his first 25 amateur bouts. Wasn't focused or disciplined by his own admission. Now feels that he has the focus and discipline necessary to become a good boxer, but his confidence is fragile, Van, and I think the first round will be a telling tale. If he can hold his own, feel good about himself, he can go on and make it competitive. If Cesar becomes very assertive here, it could be a long night for Mr. Carmona.
Well, they say that that heart is awful important. Enthusiasm is important in life, but enthusiasm only makes a difference when the skill is equal, Sam. When the skill's not equal, I mean, after a while, you got to be able to know something and do something. And Carmona certainly has that opportunity at hand right now. He's a very hard worker, very methodical, very smart in the ring. He has the capability to recognize the strengths of Mario Cesar. So we'll see now if he can put it all together and do that.
Cesar is a silver medalist in the recent Cuban National Championships. Been a member of the Cuban national team since 1990. Has a wealth of international experience.
Now Carmona is coming around to where he needs to be. I believe he spent the first minute in this round just assessing his opponent and then launched an attack and a stalking maneuver, if you will, against Cesar. He needs to keep that up. You can hear the coaches telling him, keep on coming, Frank, keep coming.
1 minute to go in the opening round. These Cuban boxers look to be, for the most part, considerably taller than their American counterparts. It's because they are. 3 inches difference here.
Carmona just took a shot to the head and then one to the body, and as he did that, his gloves came down. That opens him up, of course, and he's got to recover a little bit quicker. Cesar landing the shots not quite at will, but very effectively against the head of Carmona.
And watch his footwork, too, Van. He really collides on his feet. 30 seconds to go in the round. Letting Carmona get away with a lot of things here in the opening round. He has not pressed Carmona at all.
Sam, have you noticed that the Cuban boxers work very hard to stay out of the corners? They box out in the middle of the ring. That's where they can do their thing.
End of round number 1. Frankie Carmona still there.
The first round was not without action on the part of both boxers. Cesar working the body, coming in underneath, and a big miss by Frank Carmona, but he seems to recover very well. Cesar, though, stays the aggressor and then moves out smartly.
If they give you the inside, when they give you the inside, you got to take it. Because he's not going to give you no more. Okay? When they give you the inside, you take it. Okay? Earn that inside and get it. Huh? Good first round, but we got to do a lot better. Huh?
And remember first, no wait.
Stay in the inside. Stay in the
Second
inside.
round, Frank.
Stay in the inside.
Bell in round number 2, Jesse Ravello, one of the U.S. coaches, just imploring Carmona to take the inside, go in there and just take it. And that's where Carmona's going to have to work, because Cesar is just going to stay away from him on the outside. And Frankie's going to have to cut the ring on him.
And that's good. Here in the very opening seconds of the second round, Carmona is starting to do that just a little bit. He fell off that mark, though, in round 1. Carmona needs to get in and work between the punches of Mario Cesar, cut that distance down, as we said earlier, close up the spaces, and try to focus on breaking the rhythm. You talked about the footwork of Mario Cesar, and that's all part of that fluid movement, that rhythm, if you will, Sam, that they have.
Good right hand by Carmona. Now he's starting to disrupt Cesar's rhythm a little bit. Because Mario was just gliding on the outside with no interruption to his movement. And now Frankie's trying to cut the ring off on him a little bit, stay inside as we go under 2 minutes. This is the second round, scheduled for 3. I think this is a guy Carmona can take, Van.
I do too, Sam, but he's taking smartly. In other words, Cesar's not going to give it to him. He's got to move inside and take advantage of being on the inside. Just like that. Deliver inside. Get those gloves down and move to the head. Don't waste his time.
Frankie Carmona is the #1 ranked boxer in the USA at 125 pounds. He is the U.S. national champion. So we're not talking about chopped liver here. We're talking about an accomplished young amateur boxer.
Cesar getting off the shots and Carmona covering, deflecting most of those blows, and then sneaking a right in on Cesar. Good move by Frank Carmona.
USA needs some inspiration here. They're falling behind 3 matches to 1. Carmona can give them something to really hunt for and get them back in the competition here with a victory. He's just battling Cesar all over the center of the ring.
But that's great. That's great what Frankie Carmona is doing. He's got Cesar over against the ropes, but Cesar so skillfully slips away from there. Good flurry of punches by Frank Carmona.
Excellent round.
Crowd is behind him 100%.
Just a great round here for Frank. 45 seconds to go in the round. He's got plenty of time here. Just keep piling up the points, Frankie.
Frank Carmona cannot afford to let up on Mario Cesar at this point. He's got to keep up that aggressiveness throughout this entire round, and then the next round to follow. Cesar looks like he's scoring on a couple of punches, but Carmona right back in the hunt.
Good body work by Cesar. Danger sometimes is the judges won't give you credit for body shots, man.
And you don't know what they're scoring either, Sam.
Under 10 seconds to go in the round 2. A good one for Frankie Carmona. Come back for round 3. We believe this bout is very much up for grabs. The bell in round number 3, and Cesar comes out winging.
We didn't hear Cesar in the corner, but I think the coach told him in the corner is you can't go out there and walk. You've got to go out there and turn up the heat. Cesar's doing that thus far in the opening seconds of this round. Caution for open-face portion of the glove. Cesar is certainly busy, and it's time for Carmona to get busy. And there he goes, and the crowd sees it, and the crowd roars its approval.
Watching intently is his coach, Jesse Ravello. Came over, defected from Cuba some 26 years ago.
1967, he was in fact a Cuban national champion in 65 and 66. Won the Pan American Games for Cuba at 132 pounds before coming to the United States.
And now a U.S. coach, and first chance he's ever had to coach against his native land. Nobody wants to beat Cuba more, I can tell you, than that young man, Jesse Ravello, to the left of your screen.
He's living a dream right now, Sam. All the turmoil that's inside of him, the feelings he has for his boxers, but not just that, the feeling that he has for his native countrymen.
About 1:45 to go the third round here.
Action is most aggressive.
Frankie Carmona trying to bring this one home, and Cesar now calling on every skill that he's got. Good double right hand hook by Carmona.
Good shots by Carmona, very good shots. He's looking very strong here as we move midway through this round. It's going to be interesting to see how the computer scoring scores this particular bout. It's a give and take affair, as you can see.
Cesar throwing great combinations now. He's getting some points back. Frankie's got to finish the last minute here with a big, big flurry. 1 minute to go in the bout.
Cesar very active. Carmona moving into the body. Those body shots take a toll eventually, but they basically do less damage than a solid shot to the upper body. This is no time to stop, no time to slow down for Frank Carmona. He has to turn up the gas and make it go for the final 40, 30 seconds of this bout. Just like that, a good left, a good right by Frank Carmona.
Just chasing Cesar across the ring almost. Mario throws him off, and there you see the coach again, Jesse Ravello, watching with intent interest here.
Cesar had a swing and a miss. Carmona's right back in there. A good left by Carmona. Continues to follow with that left hand. A couple lefts and a good right would be really helpful.
Crowd will bring you home on this one. Under 10 seconds to go. Wait till you hear the roar after this.
Frankie Carmona knew exactly what he had to do in this round, and that was to come out on the attack. And he did a pretty good job of that with Mario Cesar.
Was it enough to win? Let's check with our ring announcer, Ted Sarandis, now with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on a decision in the blue corner, Frank Carmona of the United States.
Frankie Carmona has done it. He has defeated Mario Cesar in the biggest victory in that young man's career. And so the competition now narrows. The Cubans lead it 3 matches to 2. And already through 5 matches, Team USA has won as many bouts as they did in the entire 12-bout competition against Russia. The biggest cheer of the night goes for the Tasmanian Devil, Vinny Pazienza, who is a hometown favorite in these parts of the state of Connecticut, coming into the ring for a bow. Greatly appreciated young boxer.
Oh, he's at home here. He loves it. And not only does he love it, but the fans love him.
And at 147 pounds, here are your competitors in the welterweight division. 42 pounds. Let's take a look at the pairing here. In the lightweight division, Diosbelys Hurtado, most unusual first name, a 22-year-old Cuban, and his opponent, perhaps the best USA boxer in this competition, Larry Nicholson, 27 years old, out of Tyler, Texas, and a product of the Northern Michigan University boxing program, the 1993 USA Boxer of the Year, Larry Nicholson. A great opportunity here for Team USA to gain a victory, although it will not come easily. Mr. Hurtado was a very gifted, talented 22-year-old.
There will be no gimmies in what I expect to be a highly competitive bout.
And the referee is Elota Morrison from Kansas City, Missouri, and the bell sounds beginning round number 1.
You know, Sam, we talked about Larry Nicholson at the top of the show. He's competed against boxers from Poland, Ireland, Korea, Russia, so forth. But his experience is 0-3 against the Cubans. In fact, his last bout against the Cuban was against this very boxer, Diosbelys Hurtado. And Hurtado beat Nicholson. So this is a shot of redemption for Larry.
A lot of great U.S. boxers have come through this USA-Cuba boxing competition. Tyrell Biggs, Donald Curry, Oscar De La Hoya, Evander Holyfield, Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, all at one time in their amateur careers fought against the Cuban team. But Cuba has dominated the team competition, even though the USA has certainly had some distinguished individuals, and Larry is one of them. Young Mr. Nicholson here at 27, the oldest member of this USA team.
He was the USA Boxer of the Year in 1993. He also is serving as the athlete's representative to the board of directors for USA Boxing, now serving his second consecutive 2-year term. So he's highly thought of not just by the coaches, but by his peers as well.
Trying to press Hurtado here early on. And Hurtado, like most of the Cuban boxers, the great footwork, striding, sliding left to right, moving around the ring. Minute and a half to go in the first round. Straight right from Hurtado.
You know, Larry possesses some of the same skills that his opponent possesses. He's versatile, he can protect himself, and he has the range, both with the legs and with the arms, that Hurtado has. So this is an evenly balanced match, if you will.
Stay on, Larry.
Minute to go in the round. Hurtado came off the ropes dangerously, but was able to bob and weave a little bit and avoid the punch from Nicholson.
Thus far, Nicholson's strategy is paying off. He's moving well in against Hurtado, and that's where he's going to score as he moves to the inside.
Half a minute to go in the round.
Hurtado's quick, though, with that left hand, Sam. Very effective with the jab, both speed and power.
Yes, he is. Showing the right, jabbing with the left. Little showmanship in the, I guess if your name is Diosbelys Hurtado, you got a little showmanship the day you came out of the womb, huh? End of one.
Okay. Each time as you move, get a little closer, and cut him down. Cut your space.
Let's go into the USA corner now with Coach Al Mitchell and his pupil, Larry Nicholson.
Okay? Okay, and you want to be first and you want to finish last. Okay? Okay, it's a chess game between you and him. All right? Take a deep breath. Okay.
Don't chase him, baby. Don't chase him.
Okay? Use that jab to cut him off right there, okay? Make it hard in there. Don't worry about it. Boom, boom. You just want to touch it. You want to knock his rhythm off, okay? It's your second round.
You got to punch and sit him down.
Here we go for round two. Diosbelys Hurtado in the red vest. Larry Nicholson of Team USA in the blue. Next big event for both of these teams, by the way, March of 1995, the Pan Am Games. And then shortly after that, in 95, the World Championships in Germany, all leading up to the Olympic Games in Atlanta in 1996. And everybody's pointing there.
There's a lot of great amateur boxing down the road, Sam. The Pan American Games in Mar del Plata, Argentina will offer the best that this hemisphere has to offer. But then right behind that come the World Championships and then the road to Atlanta. You know, I like what Al Mitchell told Larry Nicholson. He said it's like a chess game. He said start first and finish last. In other words, get off more than he does. Of course, Nicholson is a student at Northern Michigan University. Actually went there on the Sarge Johnson Scholarship.
Great combination. Larry seemed a little disoriented after missing with a wild right. Came off the ropes, and Hurtado took advantage of it. Had a wonderful combination.
Yes, but he comes back real fine. The name of this game sometimes is simply recovery, and Nicholson can do that.
They're right there now, both in the middle of the ring. And Hurtado just throws Nicholson to the canvas. No standing 8 count. Check his gloves. Midway through the bout, midway through round number 2. Hurtado and Nicholson at 132 pounds. Two very, very classy boxers, and Nicholson to his knees. May take a standing 8 count here. He will.
And he is still wobbly. When he's ready to go, he'll put those gloves up, and now he's doing that, indicating that he's ready to continue boxing. But he goes right into a cover situation, and he will not be able to stand in the ring with Hurtado covering.
Under a minute to go in the second round. Hurtado has taken control of this bout. Larry Nicholson has boxed against the Cubans 3 times, has lost all 3, and has had an amazing number of bouts in his amateur career. 250 or thereabouts at age 27.
He's lost twice, Sam, to Damian Austin of Cuba, and then, like I said earlier, he lost his last bout in the AIBA Challenge. AIBA is the international governing body for the sport. He lost that bout earlier this year to Hurtado.
Good finish here by Larry. Under 30 seconds to go, and now he's chasing Hurtado down. Real good flurry by Nicholson near the end of the round. Toe-to-toe, what a great bout.
And Larry Nicholson has to keep up that type of action to become the leader and aggressor in this bout.
So we've come to the end of round number 2, Nicholson and Hurtado. This is our 10th bout of the night.
Decision in the red corner, Diosbelys Hurtado.
Diosbelys Hurtado took control of this bout early on and just grabbed it by the throat and never let go. In fact, Larry Nicholson never really scored in the bout until very late in the 3rd round. A complete domination by Hurtado, as the Cubans now have won 8 bouts in the 10 that have been boxed so far tonight. Here are the big guys, the super heavyweights, over 201 pounds, and at 147 pounds, here are your competitors in the welterweight division. 25-year-old Juan Hernandez, a defending world champion at 147, and his opponent Robert Frazier, who will turn 21 years old on November 8th, out of Rochester, New York, fighting for Team USA. And there's a whole story about Mr. Frazier that will develop. He gives away 5 years in age to Hernandez, about 1 inch in height. But the thing about Frazier is, Van, as you well know, the bell starting round number 1, is that he was the biggest surprise of the entire training camp for this competition. The coaches had all been warned that he had a bad reputation. He was a problem kid, and they said he has absolutely been a model citizen.
Well, he was the 1992 National Golden Gloves champion, boxed in the Olympic trials in '92, participated in the USA Russia Invitational. '94 was not a real productive year, so he didn't know what to expect. But when he came to training camp, he says, I've come to work, and they are very pleased. They feel he's matured. He's had a great experience thus far. Let's see if it can convey it here tonight now in this competition.
Frazier in the blue headgear. Nope, Frazier's in the red headgear. They've switched up on us here. Hernandez in the blue headgear. Well, they're just mixing these red, white, and blue colors to confuse anybody, aren't they?
Well, if you're watching at home, the key is the jerseys on this particular venture. And not only that, but the colors of the gloves as well.
Right. Red for Hernandez, blue for Frazier, and he's giving height away as usual. Referee again is Mr. Morrison.
Let me tell you, Juan Hernandez is one of these boxers that Alcides Cigar speaks very highly of. 2-time world champion, silver medalist in the Olympics, the Goodwill champion from this summer. Another one of these talented Cuban boxers
with arms that reach from Geer to the casino.
That's why they have all those television cameras.
That's it. Boy, he's a lanky young man, isn't he? Rangy. Oh, and a left hand. Frazier walked right into it, and down he goes. And he looks to his corner and nods that he's all right, but he walked right into a straight left from Juan Hernandez.
He was rocked. He was shook very hard and gets that standing 8 count.
Got a bloody nose in the process. Another left, flashing left by Hernandez. Frazier's going to have to hang on here. A lot of time left in the first round.
I mean, this is just a case of a very experienced boxer against a lesser experienced boxer. Still a lot of heart by Frazier, but as we spoke earlier, after heart, you've got to have something to back that up. And right now, it's not the experience that Frazier brings.
Under a minute to go, and they wrestle to the canvas here.
And the referee stopping that contest. He's signaling that this contest is over. He waved his arms in the air and said that Robert Frazier had had enough.
Or are they just stopping it so the doctor can look at Frazier? No, I guess they've given him, they've stopped the contest.
It's over. Hernandez goes back to his corner, and his coaches are up. Frazier, with his gloves up high, just let that left hand slip in, and it rocked him back. It really caught him on the side of the head and really caught him unaware and surprised. Hernandez has speed and has quickness and has the power behind it. He had that whole body behind the punch as he sent Frazier down to the deck and showed the world again why he's a two-time world champion and silver medalist from the Olympics.
And so halfway through the competition, the referee has stopped the contest twice in favor of Cuba. They've won 2 decisions. Team USA has won 2. It is 4-2 Cuba halfway through the competition. Welcome back to the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut with Van Stokes. I'm Sam Nover. And we are halfway through the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut with Van Stokes. I'm Sam Nover. And we are halfway through the competition now as we move to the 156-pounders, the light middleweights fighting for Cuba. Alfredo Duvergel and his opponent, 21-year-old Michael Nunnally. Out of Jackson, Tennessee, a product of the Northern Michigan University boxing program, and fighting a Cuban for the very first time. Third man in the ring. Our referee is Jose Puerto of Cuba as you look at the tail of the tape. And Duvergel with a 5-year in terms of age advantage, certainly in terms of experience, over Nunnally. This is a very young USA team, obviously, Van.
Well, Duvergel also has a notch on his holster, if you will, by winning the silver medal in the World Championships in 1993, something that Nunnally cannot claim. But Nunnally comes out smoking nonetheless.
Unimpressed, is he?
Nah, he didn't read the bios.
Just a slip on the part of Duvergel, who smiles at Nunnally.
Sam, I like Michael Nunnally, not just because he comes from Jackson, Tennessee, and considers his greatest accomplishment earning a scholarship to Northern Michigan University. But he's a very mature and poised 21-year-old boxer. And he's got a lot of experience here in the States. The question is now, can it convert to the international arena?
And he is strong. Has power in both hands. And the danger, of course, at the amateur level is that you look for the one-punch knockout when he's really got to work on his scoring punches, box with his combinations, and you can rest assured that Duvergel will be there for the whole bout. He's much too experienced, much too poised to be shaken by being hit early.
There's no doubt about that. Duvergel is not going anywhere. So the question is, where's Michael Nunnally going to go? And it better be right at Duvergel. And if it does, he'll be successful. He's going to take some in the process, though. As you can see there, a couple of jabs and a strong left by Duvergel.
Great left hand.
Nunnally told us that he has butterflies, but he says that's a good thing to have. It's just like being back on a punt or for the opening kickoff, Sam. If you don't have that little bit of sweat in your palms, you've been in the game too long. You need to get out.
Well, since the opening flurry, Duvergel has just got in some wonderful right leads and left hooks, straight left hands. He fights southpaw, boxes southpaw, as you can see. Has great ringmanship. All these Cubans just really have tremendous footwork.
They do. They have balance. I mean, they have long limbs, long legs, and long arms. And the wingspan serves them so well. And the legs, they're not just long, they're powerful.
Under a minute to go in the first round. Michael Nunnally trying to make an impact here on Alfredo Duvergel, who is the Cuban national champion from 1992 and 93. And as Van already mentioned, a silver medalist at the World Championships in 93. 26 years old. Much the more experienced of the two.
Duvergel has the range of a 767. The question is the wingspan of it. And I think he just might have some of that power hidden in there, too. We haven't seen it thus far, but if he's like the rest of his teammates, it's hidden in there somewhere.
10 seconds to go in the opening round. Pretty good round for these guys at 156 pounds. Again, it's Michael Nunnally in blue, Alfredo Duvergel in red.
Pretty good action in the opening round of this light middleweight contest on the part of both boxers. Nunnally seeking to get to the inside. Finds a nice right hand off the head of Alfredo Duvergel. Duvergel's not daunted, though, as he moves away ever so gently and ever so smartly.
Sam Nover, Van Stokes back here at Foxwoods Resort, Ledyard, Connecticut, round number 2 at 156 pounds. Alfredo Duvergel, ever the poised boxer in the red vest and the red headgear, against the American Michael Nunnally. 3 straight right jabs by Duvergel.
Followed up with a left by Duvergel. Again, this doesn't come naturally. This is a highly tuned and highly skilled, trained boxer.
You know, Nunnally feels that he has had his career interrupted a couple of times. He suffered a tragic loss of a very dear friend who somehow was allowed to box twice in the same night and was killed in the ring. And that set Michael back immeasurably in his boxing career. And he said he just got his career pumped up again, and they closed down the gyms and the boxing program in Tennessee. So he's had a few setbacks, but he's a very optimistic young man, forging ahead here and trying to get his career on track.
And right now he's on track in this bout as he seeks to be the aggressor against Duvergel. But you know, Sam, that's part of the Olympic experience. As de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympics, said, it's not the triumph, it's the struggle. It's the overcoming obstacles and getting there. And Michael Nunnally typifies this Olympic spirit.
Well, he sure does, Van, and he's giving it everything he's got, working the belly now. Working the inside, minute 35 to go in a low blow.
Going to call him for a low blow, and that was a good call by the referee. It was unintentional, but it was a low blow nonetheless.
Duvergel is carved, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He is.
Great specimen. Past the midway mark in the second round and in the bout. And Michael's going to have to pick up the pace, start getting off first, because Duvergel is starting every flurry and finishing most flurries.
I'm impressed by the poise that I've seen from all the
good left hand. Excuse me, Van.
Very good left hand. And another left hand by Duvergel. You know, that's one of his big weapons, I think, Sam, it happens to be that left hand.
Leading with his head, I think he was cautioned about by the referee.
That's correct. No points deducted for that. Again, safety is the primary concern of that third man in the ring. Duvergel's quick. But he's rocked. His
legs have buckled.
Nunnally rocked him.
Sitting 8 count now for Alfredo Duvergel as Nunnally rocked him with a right hand and then started to scream at him. Here we go.
And Duvergel's mad, but he's mad at himself for letting himself get hit. But the confidence factor of Michael Nunnally has gone up tremendously. A warning or a caution for throwing him down, pushing Michael Nunnally on the attack exactly where he needs to be. And the crowd has rallied behind him.
Isn't this a dandy round? Under 10 seconds to go in the second round. Michael Nunnally with a stunning knockdown. We have come to the end of 2.
Get him hurt again to the body, and he's blocking the body. Go right to the head. You got to work up and down. But the key is keep the pressure
in the corner now with Michael Nunnally. You're listening to his 2 coaches. The one speaking, Al Mitchell, assisted by Jesse Ravallo. Let's listen.
You got 3 minutes of gas. You got 3 minutes of gas.
You're in great shape. Everybody, let it go.
Hey, keep your mouth shut. You got a referee out there, and you keep talking like that when you're
Nunnally picking up steam as this round goes on. Literally rocks his opponent with a strong right. Follows up, comes back to the body. And the referee tries to intervene on that. Shocking blow nonetheless.
Everything. This is all about.
So the bell in round number 3. Let me correct something. I believe I credited Michael with a knockdown. All he did was just buckle the legs and the knees of Alfredo Duvergel, but it might have had the same effect as a complete knockdown.
That's correct, and that's called the standing 8 count. The boxer doesn't have to go down to the canvas before the referee will administer an 8 count. Well, here goes Nunnally back to the corner. I'm not for sure. The referees asked that the coach wipe off the sweat so it will be less slippery when the competition continues.
So let's see whether or not we've got ourselves a competitive bout. This is the third and final round, and Nunnally shaking off punches and doing what he's got to do. And the referee, Puerto, now warning him about leading with his head. But Michael has just thrown caution to the wind here, just pursuing Duvergel at every turn.
I would say that Nunnally is in the hunt right now, Sam. He's the stalker and he's the aggressor. If he continues to throw and get his shots off, and many shots, he'll get the scoring blows and could get the nod. He got his guidance in between from Al Mitchell, the coach up at the U.S. Olympic Education Center at Northern Michigan, where Nunnally is a student. Gives these boxers a great opportunity not just to pursue boxing, but their education as well.
Michael admitted earlier today that the Cubans are a very intimidating team, but if you were to ask him right now, which none of us would dare do, I would say he's not intimidated one iota.
Not in the least. And I think that's why I said up front that I was impressed with Michael Nunnally. He seems to have maturity and poise. But as you say, Sam, he came through some of the hard times, and really, truly, doesn't that give us some of the maturity that we need?
Yep.
Well, it's certainly serving him well right now.
But look at Duvergel, all of his class, all of his experience, drawing on it right now, and just piling up the points, throwing punch after punch, 5- and 6-punch combinations. Michael's got to start answering. A minute and a half to go in the bout.
Once again, this is the poise and reaction to pressure that the Cuban boxers seem to typify right straight through the weight classes. But Nunnally coming on strong nonetheless.
Duvergel not giving him much of a chance to do anything here.
No, he's not. He continues to circle left and circle left. If Nunnally can lean into this, he can possibly get him going in the wrong direction. And it's at this point in the bout that I feel Nunnally needs to step up the gas and get busy.
Final minute of the bout. Duvergel has come out here in round 3 of what we think was a close bout and grabbed this match by the throat and does not appear to be letting it go. This is with a wild left, but he has piled up some points early on.
Michael Nunnally needs to double clutch and come at Duvergel.
Well, he slipped a lot of punches in this round, Duvergel, hasn't he?
He sure has. It's been an excellent defensive round for Duvergel. But Nunnally will not let him go, and rightfully so. There's a shot. Good shot by Michael Nunnally.
15 seconds left in the bout. Here's the finish. So a very game effort there by Michael Nunnally, but it would appear that Alfredo Duvergel has been able to hold him at bay, certainly in the third round, after having his knees rocked a little bit. In the second round, Duvergel regained his composure, came back out, and boxed a nearly perfect third round, it would appear, Van.
It certainly appears that Duvergel gained his superiority perhaps in the first round, lost it a little bit in the second round, and then came back and fought a very smart defensive bout, did not let himself get hit, stuck and moved, shifted right, shifted left, glided, as you said, Sam, around the ring, but glided himself in a very smart direction.
All right, let's check in with ring announcer Ted Hernandez for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on a decision in the right corner, Alfredo Duvergel of Cuba.
Well, there are some mixed boos here, but that was a very, very deserving winner. Nunnally was as game as he could be, but I think they say that class tells in the end, and Alfredo's got a ton of it, and his experience, the difference in age, 5 years, the fact that he's had much more international competition, and I think the telling thing here, Van, was that when he was hurt and in trouble, Duvergel knew what to do to get out of it and then clear his head in time for the third round.
That's experience, that's poise, that's reaction to pressure. Michael Nunnally, along with Jesse Aquino, Jesse Brasino, they all together are going to make a very fine, formidable 156-pound light middleweight class for the USA.
With 165-pounders in our 8th bout of the evening. These are the middleweights. On the left of your screen, Ariel Hernandez, the 24-year-old gold medal champion from Barcelona. And the unenviable task of having to knock him off his throne goes to Stephen Beets, a 20-year-old native of Ocean Springs, Mississippi. One of 2 U.S. boxers to beat the Russians here some 7 months ago. As you see, they're about the same size. Hernandez with a wealth of experience, and most importantly, this young man has won the most coveted award of all. He has been to the mountain, having won the gold medal in Barcelona. Here we go. Hernandez in the red vest, Stephen Beets in the blue.
Of course, Barcelona, not just Barcelona, but Olympic competition is that pinnacle of achievement, if you will, in amateur athletics. But a world championship in a non-Olympic year and a Goodwill's title following up on that, those are extra side dishes.
Oh, Beets is already wobbly. Boy, he just got absolutely pummeled by a left hand. It looked like both knees caved in. He says he's all right, but he's taking a standing 8 count.
I'm not for sure he is, Sam. You know, the most telling tale of a boxer is his eyes.
Oh,
if you look at Beets' eyes, there is a real sense of respect. I'm not going to call it fear, but there is a deep, deep sense of respect for his opponent at this point. A caution for below the belt for Ariel Hernandez,
offered by George Benedetto, the USA referee.
Beets right now is totally off a game plan, which is to come out and take it to his opponent Hernandez. He's laying back and sometimes moving back and giving Hernandez the opportunity to move in and shoot just like that. And when Hernandez shoots, all you got to do is give him 1 or 2 opportunities. He's going to hit and connect.
Well, Stephen talked to us earlier today about this extensive strategy that they had planned, but strategy goes out the window when you're getting pummeled here early on. You come out of the corner and walk into a left hand. He's just trying to survive this round here.
Well, as long as he's moving in the backward direction, such as he is right now, he's going to find himself reeling and reeling even more.
Middle of round number 1. Ariel Hernandez, the Olympic gold medalist in Barcelona at 165 pounds, having it his own way, and Stephen Beets is taking another standing 8 count, and no, the referee says that's it. You've had enough, Stephen, and it's the best decision of the night. The referee has stopped the contest here in the opening round, and Ariel Hernandez has shown why he is the best 165-pound boxer in the world.
Things got underway very, very quickly as far as Hernandez was concerned. Shooting for a left, 2 lefts, and again, that's not just punch, that's a punch with power felt by Stephen Beets. Beets moving cautiously throughout the entire bout. Never really opened up and became aggressive. Took a left and then began to flail and said, wait a minute, this is not my game plan. And that, he got the 8 count, received the second 8 count, and it was all over.
Ted Sarandis now with the official time of the referee stopping contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stops the contest at 1 minute and 40 seconds into the first round. The winner in the red corner, Ariel Hernandez of Cuba.
And so with that victory by Ariel Hernandez, the Cubans have assured themselves of at least a tie in the competition for the 18th consecutive time in 18 matches against Team USA. The worst the Cubans can do is tie, as they did in '91. 9th bout of the evening. 178 pounds, the light heavyweights. 9th bout of the evening. 178 pounds, the light heavyweights. To the left of your screen, Juan Carlos Gomez and his opponent Antonio Tarver out of Orlando, Florida. And for one of the rare instances in the competition tonight, Team USA has the more experienced boxer. Tarver's 25 years old. Gomez is only 21, although Gomez has in fact been boxing for the last 10 years. So they start him very young in Cuba, as you know. They start him in the villages and the provinces. And boxing in Cuba is like physical education here in the United States.
They believe that it is sport for everyone. Sports is the right of the people, as they say in the country of Cuba.
And you saw the referee, Omar Rivera of Cuba, as the bell sounds, starting round number 1.
And Gomez is certainly wasting no time coming out to meet and greet Antonio Tarver. Gomez is a former junior world champion in 1990.
And most impressively, a silver medalist at the World Championships this year. So he's a young man who's really had a taste of the best competition in the world, despite his rather tender age of 21.
You know, Tarver, on the other hand, told us he first put on the gloves at age 11, but he's 25, did not turn serious in the sport of boxing until 22 years of age. So technically you can say he's got a solid 3 years behind him, which is how long Gomez has been on the national team in Cuba.
Minute gone here in round 1. 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds each. Pounding left hands, good overhand left by Tarver. And using the right into the ribs of Juan Carlos Gomez.
Good shot, good opportunity for Tarver. As long as the referee does not yell break or step in and intervene, he's got to take advantage of that. That's exactly where he wants to be. Trading blow for blow, body to body, head to head.
It was Tarver who backpedaled after a very long and tedious exchange.
And that's what Jesse Ravello and the other coaching staff, Howard Mosley and Al Mitchell, have been telling the boxers all along. Move in and take away their reach. Neutralize their offensive weapons, and you become the offensive weapon.
Tarver working both the midsection, then coming back up high, and I think that's what the USA coaches wanted, was to work the body and work your way up to the head.
They know that the Cuban boxers are going to throw punches, and if that Cuban boxer throws 3 punches, our coaches want our kids to throw 4 punches. If he throws 4, then we throw 5. We out-punch him, and if we do that, we can outscore him.
30 seconds to go in the first round. It's been a pretty good one for Antonio Tarver. Only 1 bout previously against the Cuban, a very competitive loss back in 1993. And he said he learned early that you can't burn out in the first round. You got to save your energy. He's had a good first round, but he's trying to conserve his energy and not leave it here in the first round. 10 seconds to go in the round. And Tarver's done very nicely here.
Hi, I'm
in what is a very competitive bout and what we surmise is a very closely scored bout at the moment.
Another right hand by Tarver. Tarver now sticking and moving. And Tarver working his way out of the corner very smartly.
Now Gomez pressing him in the corner. Tarver boxing out of it very nicely. 30 seconds to go.
He's got to circle and stick and move. He's got to circle and stick and move.
This is going to be a tight one. You just get the feeling that the last punch may win it if it's a scoring blow. Coming up on the 10-second mark to go in the bout.
The action got hot and heavy throughout this round, and unlike other bouts, it moved away from the center of the ring and into the corner. But Gomez does a good job, as does most of his teammates, of ducking out of that corner and bringing the action back where it serves him to his advantage. Good move by Tarver putting him there. Good move by Gomez getting out.
All right, this is going to be a close one. Let's get it now from Ted Sarandis.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on a decision. In the red corner, Juan Carlos Gomez.
Well, Juan Carlos Gomez has won this very, very close decision. I don't know whether it was a tiebreaker system or how exactly it worked out, but We had been indicated to us earlier that it was a draw. Then we thought that in a tiebreaker, Tarver had won it. At the last moment, it went to Gomez, and I cannot tell you why. We'll try to find out.
But it was determined by aggressiveness, and it was perhaps the aggressiveness off of this particular flurry by Gomez that turned the tide in the judge's favor. In any bout, when the score comes out even, it will go to that boxer that was deemed most aggressive in the eyes of the judges.
32 pounds. Let's take a look at the pairing here. In the lightweight division, Diosbelys Hurtado. At 41, he looks like he could still put on a pair of trunks and go with the best of them. He is Teofilo Stevenson, noted from one end of the continent of the world, for that matter, to the other. His great amateur prowess, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. And the only regret that boxing fans have is that he never had a chance to turn professional and go and fight the likes of Frazier, Ali, whoever was out there. It would have been a dandy to see him.
A highly revered man. I will call him still a young man at 41 in the country of Cuba. And I'm sure that he and Fidel Castro have sat down and shared many a meal and both discussed their exploits, their victories, their good times, as well as their difficult times.
And the man he just spoke to is the guy who was considered to be his protege, the young man who's carrying on the banner of Teofilo Stevenson. That is Felix Savon, who pound for pound may be the best boxer in the world today at the amateur level. He is a 1-time gold medalist and a 4-time world champion, and a pupil of Mr. Stevenson's. You bet he is. There's Felix Savon on the left, and Robert Geer, at 20 years old, a San Jose, California native, whose dad's here to watch the bout tonight, and a product of the Northern Michigan University boxing program, will represent Team USA. And on the surface, it would appear to be a mismatch. But when you're in that ring, anything can happen, and Robert Geer is very game tonight, even though he goes against the fabulous Felix Savon.
Well, just to have the opportunity to step into the ring with a boxer of this caliber is really a memory for a very long time. Of course, you've got to be around when it's over, Sam, to remember these things.
That's right.
Robert Geer is up to the challenge. We spoke to him today. He said, I'm ready for this. I want to dictate this bout. I've got the power. I've got the conditioning. I'm going after him.
George Benedetto is the third man in the ring. This is our 12th and final bout of the night. These are the heavyweights at 201 pounds.
And look at Robert Geer. He's doing exactly as his coach is instructing him. He's after Felix Savon in the opening seconds of round 1.
Whoa. Van and I combed the boxing bio of Savon earlier today, dating all the way back to 1983. Could not find a loss in his record. Now, he may have some, but they certainly don't print it. He's got this long biography, but it doesn't show any defeats. He's virtually won everything he's been in.
It's really kind of unbelievable. He's won everything from the Junior World Championships to the World Championship 4 times, to the Olympic Championship once, 2 Pan Am Championships and 2 Goodwill Games Championships. Put that one on your resume, Sam Nover.
Going against a guy, Van, who's only had 35 amateur bouts. Has been boxing only since 1990, Robert Geer. And a young man who, by his own admission, was a problem teen, got in all sorts of trouble, and attributes boxing for having turned his life around, taught him some discipline, and just seems to have his act together. And a few years ago, he had no idea where he'd end up with his life.
He really does. And like he said, his father traveled all the way from San Jose, California to watch him participate tonight. So this is a culmination of, even though it's only 30 bouts, a very difficult and arduous road, if you will, for Robert Geer. And so he's in there with everything he's got right now against Felix Savon.
Oh, Savon with an absolutely murderous right hand puts Geer to the canvas.
He shocked him, and this is over.
That's it. That's it. Well, the explosiveness of Teofilo Stevenson. How many times did we see that 20 and 25 years ago, or 20 years ago anyway?
Transformed into the body of Felix Savon, who shot him with a right hand that decked Robert Geer. Geer was a gamer, and we said this all the way from the beginning. He stepped up to the counter, stepped right up to the counter, but stepped right up to the right hand of Felix Savon and went straight down to the deck. Smartly, the referee terminated this contest.
1:19 of the first round. The referee stops the contest, and the winner, unquestionably, the awesome right hand of Felix Savon, 27-year-old Cuban heavyweight. Let's get the official announcement now from Ted.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee stopped the contest at 1 minute and 19 seconds into the first round. The winner, from the red corner, Felix Savon of Cuba.
And Geer, might I add, is fine. He has got his faculties about. His head is cleared. He, in fact, went over and lifted Savon. It's an experience that the young Robert Geer won't soon forget, and hopefully he'll benefit from it. But he just ran into an incredible right hand and a one-punch knockout, or a one-punch stopping of the contest.
It was literally one of the quickest and most powerful right hands that we've seen in a long time. Geer will be back, though. Mark our words, Sam. We'll see more of this young boxer as we head down the road. And Felix Savon living in the legend and living in the limelight of a man like Teofilo Stevenson, the next celebrant, heir celebrant apparent.
Fight, an up-and-coming junior middleweight with an aggressive style. From Youngstown, Ohio, Ben Fielding.
Here are the big guys, the super heavyweights, over 201 pounds. And the Cubans will send out there Leonardo Martinez, who's an awfully big young man at 6'7", and his opponent, an even bigger young man, Lance Whitaker from Granada Hills, California, stands 6'8", weighs 240 pounds, and has a size 17 shoe, would you believe? And as a matter of comparison, that is Whitaker's shoe on the right. The one on the left belongs to Albert Guardado, who at 106 pounds has the smallest foot on Team USA. But how's that for a comparison, Van?
Those are some big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
So Martinez and Whitaker and the super heavyweights, these are the big guys. Always a big attraction in any competition. Whitaker has not fared very well in international competition. He's 0-3 against the Russians, losing to Lozin all 3 times. But he feels he's getting closer and closer. And let's see how he does here tonight.
He does. He told us that he feels his technique has improved, and he also feels like his confidence is getting better. But this will be a real test for Lance Whitaker.
I don't know that Martinez has ever fought a bigger man. 6'8", 240 pounds. Whitaker, in fact, has been as big as 283. But he is now scaled to a svelte 240. And obviously has awesome punching power, and he just needs to improve technique, and it's what he's working on day and night.
Well, I think Whitaker has boxed a man equal to his size, and that's his twin brother.
No, he's only 6'5".
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's 3 inches shorter than Lance.
My mistake. He's only 6'5". Lance is 6'8". Yeah. You know, Lance has a tendency to box straight up, and the coaches have tried to work with him through the year on bending his knees, not being stiff-legged.
He's got a lot of work to be an accomplished boxer, there's no question about it, but when you're looking for innate strength and size, punching power, you've got it here in Whitaker. If you're looking at your screen and you're saying that guy doesn't look 6'8", consider the fact that his opponent is 6'7". Leonardo Martinez can look him in the eye almost.
Well, Whitaker is 6'8". Not only that, he's the top-rated super heavyweight boxer in the United States. So all of those lined up behind him are going to have to go through Whitaker to get to Atlanta in '96. And as Whitaker continues to grow in experience, I don't think he's going to grow in height, but as he grows in experience, that challenge will be tougher and tougher.
This is the first bout that I've seen tonight where the Cuban boxer appears to be timid. You know, you said you didn't want to use the word fear. Obviously, that doesn't exist, but he has tremendous respect for Whitaker. And as we go under a minute left in the first round, and you can understand that.
I see a level of confidence right now in Lance Whitaker that I did not see previously. even though he still has around 30 bouts to his credit, he has grown immeasurably in the ring.
Good right hand by Martinez.
Martinez is from Camagüey, Cuba, a place I had the opportunity to visit last February. Very, very interesting experience, to say the least.
And he doesn't have a long list of accomplishments, might I add. He's 24 years old. He doesn't have these tremendous bios like the rest of the Cuban boxers, which is not to say that he's not one of their best, because he certainly is. Under 10 seconds to go in round one. It's been a good one. And rather even.
Around, you're not going to get this ball.
Give me the full punch blitz, okay? Yeah, snap him fast.
So this bout should be decided in the third and final round. On your left, Leonardo Martinez of Cuba. Lance Whitaker in the blue from Team USA, looking for his biggest victory as an amateur boxer. Career certainly that can blossom. He's only 23 years old, Lance Whitaker. He's got to meet each task as it's put in front of him, and on the plate tonight is Leonardo Martinez. I like his composure. Whitaker looks a lot more composed to me than when we saw him 7 months ago, Van.
He sure does, and he is growing in maturity. He's growing in strength. He seems to be growing in knowledge as well. That all translates into confidence. But right now, Sam, he's got to put that to work, and he's got to pick up the pace just a little bit, throw more punches, and land some more scoring blows in order to win this bout.
Trying hard to use the left jab.
This bout is not leaning towards either boxer at this point.
2 minutes to go. Somebody's got to grab it here. Wild left by Whitaker. Flat-footed, too. Wasn't even up on the balls of his feet.
Once again, that's youngness, that's youth in the ring. We caught the wind gust over here. They were up to maybe 30. I'm not for sure.
So far, he's been patient, maybe too patient.
I think so. At this point, he's got to move in and land that on Leonardo Martinez. He's calm and he's patient, Sam, but now it's time to push Martinez right out the side of the ring.
I'm afraid if they go to a draw and to a tiebreaker here, they may give it to Martinez as the aggressor.
These judges definitely look at aggressiveness, I'm here to tell you, especially when things get knotted up.
1 minute to go on the bout.
They just continue to trade shots. It could be a question of who trades the last shot when the time is up, but it shouldn't come down to that. It should not come down to that. Lance Whitaker should be the aggressor and should be the power puncher and move in to Martinez now.
Independent judges from Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Canada encircle the ring, along with one from Cuba and one from USA. You've got 5 judges deciding this contest as we go under a half minute.
You never want to leave it up to the judges. You want to decide it yourself when you're in there.
USA try to win for just the 3rd time tonight in what has been a very dominating Cuban team. They are the best in the world, and they have fought exactly like that tonight. This one's over, folks.
Competition remained pretty even as they moved deep into the round. Boxers trading blows, each trading left hands, each being rocked just a little bit. But you can trade blows all you want and it still remains equal. It's the one that gets off the most blows and sometimes the last blow that wins the competition.
So this will be a greatly anticipated decision from the judges. Leonardo Martinez and Lance Whitaker with the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner on a decision in the red corner, Leonardo Martinez.
Martinez has won it by the narrowest of margins. And he won it very, very late in the third round, but he has won it. And he keeps Lance Whitaker winless in his international competition, but it seems like he gets closer and closer each bout.
The difference between winning and losing at this particular point in time for Lance Whitaker is not physical, Sam Nover. It's upstairs. And when he gets the upstairs married up with the downstairs, he will be a force to be reckoned with inside the ring.
At 41, he looks like he could